Welcome, everyone, to the Risen Esports Draft League Week 1. I'm Milkshake. I'm here with my co-caster, Big Stevie. We're to bring you all the good stuff for this game.
Yeah, we got quite a bit here on the line for you. Week 1 of the Draft League. For all you astute viewers who tuned in last week, you saw preseason, but this begins the 5-week absolute race to the finish that is the regular season here in the Draft League.
Yeah, looking forward to this game. We're seeing some good things. I'm looking at the op.gg here, and we should be looking at some caster predictions here.
Yeah, we got a heated matchup for you guys here today. It's Never Misclick versus the Tunnel Snakes. Never Misclick, aka ADD, is the very nicely formatted tongue graphic you see. I believe Snail and I have them winning this series. Quick shout out to our friend Snail, who is somehow predicted a 3-0 result for a best-of-3 series. Power to him, and huge if true. But it seems like our desk is pretty split here. I mean, me and Snail are big on Never Misclick. Milkshake, you and Banana Man, you guys are going Tunnel Snakes.
Man, I'm hoping for Tunnel Snakes. I mean, I'm looking at this bot lane. They have Iwa and Kilowatt just looking like some absolute Giga Chads if they can take this bot lane and scale off of it.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting, and this comes back to what the Draft League is all about. Speaking of Draft League, we got a draft down below. But because these teams have to be assembled one at a time in an NFL-style draft, you really have to figure out what side of the map do you prioritize more. Never Misclick with Captain Abyss in the jungle, D2 player, and picking up a pretty high elo mid laner, really focusing on that mid-jungle synergy. Whereas, as you mentioned, Tunnel Snakes, it is full focus into the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's stacked.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think a stack that we need to work our way through. Draft down below, as you can see, some slight issues with the Riot Spectator client today means that we'll be hitting you with this action real hot and ready. Speaking of hot and ready, this draft. Now, I don't know about you, Milkshake. I think you saw my visceral reaction to this draft. It's not what you'd see on LCS, but what are some of the first things you notice when you're looking here?
I mean, I'm noticing it for Team Misclick. Who's mid? Who is going mid lane?
Yeah, no, that's a very interesting question. Obviously, looking through this draft, in the order, so this is the order they were selected. So Seraphine, Nautilus were that R1, R2, Lee Sin on R3, then Tristana, Camille. Now, you typically see the character with a gun and you think, oh, that's the AD carry. Tristana mid's very popular, and I think Tunnel Snakes seem to agree, given that Akshan has somewhat come about as a potential counter to Tristana mid. Do we see that actually going to the bot lane to avoid that matchup? Maybe really try to put the hurt onto Swain Ezreal? Or does she stay mid lane and then Seraphine Nautilus? And now that really just feels like a very disjointed bot lane if I've ever heard one. Seraphine very good at that poke game, but I don't know if you're going to get characters low enough that the Nautilus is really you're going to need to seal the deal.
No, I don't know. If Seraphine can find just angle after angle and poke the Swain and Ezreal down, maybe it's good to have this Nautilus. I mean, that overall engage that they provide to the team, maybe this was a good pick for their comp, not necessarily for the bot lane.
Yeah, I think that is really what it shows. I mean, Nautilus, really the hardest piece of engage on the side of ADD, aka Never Misclick, aka the team that I've got slated to win here tonight at 2-1. But with that, the other pieces feel pretty standard. You got Camille in the top lane, who should have an advantageous matchup, at least early on, into the Nasus. Lee Sin, who is one of the biggest playmakers, on the biggest playmaker in the tournament, in this matchup here, being Ubyss, UBYS, once again, the captain of Never Misclick, going to be piloting one of his favorite champions here today. Now we look at the other side.
Yes.
And first thing that comes to my mind when looking at the blue side draft out of Tunnel Snakes is, oh lordy, are they thick?
Yeah, they have some beefy boys on their team.
They certainly do. I mean, we mentioned Nasus in the top lane. It's the classic, I'll see you at 45 minutes kind of champion. We expect this to be a Mordekaiser jungle, just knowing Xanner, a.k.a. the jungler for Tunnel Snakes. He's piloted it before. He likes Mordekaiser as a champion and has been bringing that into solo queue and potentially here for his Risen debut. And then Swain as well, the support. I guess looking at the Seraphine, You see a very squishy champion that he can really wrangle on in, and maybe with the ganks coming
Mhm.
from Mord, you can really do something there. But I do struggle to see how Tunnel Snakes are going to be able to control this early game, given that I don't think they really have a winning matchup here. I know they're very bot focused, and I think if anywhere's going to go crazy, it's going to be there. But the mid matchup seems very technical, trying to go into Tristana, and I mean, I have a lot of faith in Killua, but I don't know how much faith I have on Killua on Ezreal with a Swain support. So we'll have to see. Um, but thankfully, we should
Yeah.
have the game queued up here very quickly. But before we get into that, milkshakes. So I think we both said what our Sears predictions were. I think we had 2-1s going each way.
Mhm.
I said Tunnel Snakes. You said never misclick. Or flip that. I said never
Other way
misclick. You
around.
said Tunnel Snakes.
Yeah.
Um, seeing this draft from game one, if I'm asking you to make a prediction for this matchup right here, these 5 champions versus those 5 champions, who are you going with?
I think overall, we see, like, the Akshan, like you said, answer for the Tristana. I believe still in this matchup that Tunnel Snakes will take it. Maybe that's just hopium, but I'm still thinking Tunnel Snakes.
Tunnel Snakes is a shout. I think I definitely see a way that they can win. I mean, they've got the late game insurance policy of Nasus.
Mhm.
Akshan theoretically should be a positive matchup into Tristana early on. That being said, given that the strengths of Never Misclick are typically jungle mid, a
Mhm.
Tristana Lee Sin can be very dangerous early on. That is a combo that can break apart the Rift. And I struggle to see a Seraphine Nautilus going that far down unless they're absolutely just smothered. That being
Mhm.
said, game one for me, I'm going to have to say never misclick. But, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think over in the chat as we get loaded on in to game number one. Producer's going to take us away, and we're on the Rift.
Let's go, let's go. All right. I'm excited. Is that a glitch or does Nasus just did not buy in Fountain?
No, Nasus did not buy in Fountain. He
Okay.
did get his trinket because you're automatically given it when you leave. Interesting
Mm.
invade coming out here from the red side. Once again, these are the never misclick come to you from the red side. They're gonna.
They get spotted by this ward here.
All right, now here comes our favorite game to play. Will Necroburst realize they are not items before the waves begin? If he does not back right now, he will not be in lane. Ooh,
Ooh.
almost landing the Nautilus Q there.
Almost. That Nautilus hook almost landed.
If Necro does not back now, he will not be in lane for first minions without teleporting, which
Yeah, I
would
know it.
be a massive disadvantage into Camille.
Yeah, like you talked about,
He
Camille
doesn't
already
know.
taking that early game advantage, and without items, I don't. Oh, he's backing now. He's gonna be late on the first wave,
Okay, so
unless
the
he
question is,
TPs.
I mean, he could TP. That's its own. If your enemy top laner is TPing to lane wave 1, that is the most explicit gank me right now kind of call coming from the top laner. But looks like even after with all that craziness, we're gonna calm down just a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like he's just gonna have to walk into the wave here. That has to be rough. If you're Nasus, I don't know how much of under tower farming you want to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be an uphill battle anyway, so it's going to be on Necroburst to survive this one through, especially given, we were talking about before about the Lee Sin versus the Lee Sin Tristana combo. Lee Sin Camille has an absurd amount of lockdown. There's like nowhere that's safe in that lane. So already putting top lane at a huge disadvantage. Speaking of disadvantage,
Yeah.
look the other way. Look at the
Oh
bot
my.
CS too. Oh my god, look
Oh.
at everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of disjointed stuff happening here. They are gonna opt to land that Swain root into that pole. That is a lot of damage put onto that Nautilus, really.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of out-pushing the Seraphine early, preventing her
Oh
from being
my,
level 2.
look at that. Beautiful Swain E, grabbing both of them. Ignite gonna come down, try and get that Nautilus, and they're not gonna find enough damage.
Yeah, but what it does is it buys them so much priority in this lane. Engage comes from Tristana. KT looking for Derizen. Don't think he's going to find it just yet, but also interesting. Let It Snow is going to be sticking in this lane on the bottom side as the battle lines are very clearly drawn here. Ubis stealing away that red buff.
Take that red buff, wow. Wait, is Nasus just gonna die under tower using that stun from Camille, that empowered Q as well, doing so much true damage. With
Oh, and
Ignite
to kill
down
the
as
bot
well.
lane.
They're
Yeah.
fighting that Seraphine as well. Oh.
Yeah, crazy to see down there. Killua able to pick up a first blood down here on the bottom. No, rather, that was the first
No,
blood in the
that
top
was
lane for Pekko. Second
mhm.
blood for Killua. And like we said, the battle lines are drawn right now. It is a bot lane just advantage for the Tunnel Snakes. Never misclick. They are top side warriors. We'll have to see which
Yeah.
side's really going to be able to take advantage. Interesting, especially on patch 14.2, which we're on. You know, we
Tristana
are
able
in
to
the
jump in on here. Ignite gonna come down. Does Auction have enough damage? The auto is gonna follow along with that Ignite. Tristana trying to jump away, but it's not gonna work. Nautilus getting poked down under turret, almost falling.
wow.
They're gonna have to recall.
Yeah, they're going to have to leave right quick. This is just such a rough early game. And it's before Xander can really, or before Abyss can really get anything done here in the jungle. And that
No.
was a mid lane play that KT elected to jump into. They started it. They instigated it. And all of a sudden, going down in that 1v1 solo lane.
Oh,
But here
Lee Sin
comes
getting
Abyss
up
to the
top
top
here.
line.
Looks like he's able to just ward hop onto the Camille here, getting damage with that shockwave up. Missing the skill shot though on my Q. He's opting to ward hop again onto the bush, trying to run down Necro Burst, but he's not able to. Necro Burst
Yeah,
is able to run away.
that would have been a big play, but you know, I'd say there is a silver lining to that gank. You do shove Necroburst out of lane. He's already been forced to blow his TP. He now has to make that long walk back to the top lane. Went for 2 cloth armors instead of a cloth armor and boots, so he's going to take even longer for him to return to this top lane. So that Nasus that was already going to take a while to come online, it's just, you just
It's
keep
even
pushing that back.
longer.
That is like the optional homework you get at week 1 after the South. You just keep pushing it back until it's due. That is what Nasus scaling is looking like right now. But is that advantage going to be enough to overcome now mid lane and bot lane advantages for the Tunnel Snakes?
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier, like this Akshan able to have so much early game pressure, and man, we saw it. Necroburst might be caught out here though. The stun is gonna land on him. Q as well from the Lee Sin, waiting for that recast, trying to find enough damage for it. Durson opting to just swing in there, trying to find anything, but not gonna be much here.
Yeah, really interesting sequence. The grubs do reset. It looked like the entirety of the top side of the map for the Tunnel Snakes were coming up here to do grubs. Now Pekko's going back in with
Get
Abyss.
caught up. That Q landing as well. The recast flash from Durson, trying to go on Tristana here. Tristana able to find that Nasus as well. Durson 1 HP. Tristana opting to jump away. Out of there. Swain flashing onto them. Will he be able to land this E, the skill shot to secure it? The W coming down as well, forcing them to move. Wow. Oh, flash?
Flash.
Was that a flash ignite?
Yeah, Flashing Knight from Just Let It will be handed over to Abyss. Really interesting sequence we just saw. Maybe not done just yet. Let It Snow still up here with Abyss. TP's coming from Pekko.
The Q is going to land on the Mord, though. That is going to be a lot of damage with that recast. He has that shield. Is it enough? With Iwa there as well to help secure. Xander is able to survive, and Iwa gets a double kill.
What an absolute fiesta we are being privy to right now.
I don't
Pekko's
think
coming
it's
in.
over if Pekko wants to go in there.
Pekko needs to leave. Pekko's
Pekko's
going
in, opting to go in with that E. They're going to find a shutdown onto Xander. They're finding 2 kills. Wait, they turned this. They found that kill. They found Iwa, they found Xander. They got that shutdown, but Dursum swinging in here with that Akshan plus Pekko. Able to just use that E to dash away. They're still chasing though. Necro wants this kill. Necro wants it badly. Is he going to fall for it? That passive shield. Tristana's able to just jump over and help secure it.
Yeah, that's a wild sequence we were just privy to. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw Necro die twice during that sequence. Now bot lane, there's the ultimate
bot
from
lane as well. Hook gonna land on Killua. Ult in from Seraphine. So we're trying to do as much damage as he can to this Seraphine. He is gonna use flash, but it's not enough as they're able to take down.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore. Let me do my best as the local color commentary to figure out what on earth just happened. And let's all take a breath. Let's all digest what just happened. So, absolute clown fiesta, like both ways. Not one team just throwing something, just absolute da 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 right outside the Herald pit. Important to note. 3 grubs going over the way of the Tunnel Snakes. Gold just about a push with how many kills are going back and forth. End of the day, Never Misclick does go up 500, including what happened on that bottom side. So I guess a slight advantage to Never Misclick after all that. Though perhaps more importantly, look at where the gold is going. 4-0-0 for Peko is just absolutely unplayable, as you're seeing right now. Necro,
That
I
is
don't think it's got too
that's
much
a
here.
2K gold lead in
Yeah.
the top lane. That's. I mean, I'm stunned.
Yeah, that's going to be so difficult for Tunnel Snakes to deal with going forward. They don't have hard engage. Here comes Peko. Here comes the gank from Abyss.
Oh,
But look
Ubis
here on
is
the right.
Oh, Necro doing a fantastic job, able to dodge these Lee Sin Qs.
Yeah, able to get onto that one. Abyss not having the greatest showing in the world on Lee Sin just yet. Obviously not going to be too happy with giving away the 3 grubs early on, and now is actually mispositioned on the other side of the map. Xander, for Tunnel Snakes, should be able to pick up the first dragon. So we were really expecting... No, they're looking for dragon so far. I don't know if they realize what's going on. Here comes the roam down from KT. Cycling around the pit.
We see Tristana trying to knock down Durson as much as they can, do a little bit of damage. Durson trying to swing in here, not.
Abyss is here now. He can look for the steal.
Who's planting that Q, jumping in there. They're able to find Durson. Who got the dragon? Blue team is going to secure the dragon. Team Tunnel Snakes is going to get that as well. The Mordekais are able to just run in here, grab that E, pulling both the bot laners into him, and able to just ult the Seraphine and take them into that realm. And they're able to just secure it.
Yeah, another good gain for Tunnel Snakes here. And you're seeing any fight that Peko is not at, there is a clear disadvantage for Tunnel Snakes. And once again, never misclick. They're just running into an objective that they have not set up there. The second one's there, and they end up going down for it. Now, clearly, there are ways for each team to win this game. Cough, Peko, cough. Interesting invade. Abyss has absolutely nobody.
Wait,
Has
Ubis
no
might be cut out here. The blast cone
anywhere.
trying to force them back into their team, but it just forces
Yeah,
them
he's
over
dead.
The wall. No, he's gone. Unless he finds some angle, but no, Durson able to just swing onto him, forcing him to go over the wall. Just Xander waiting for him.
Yeah, Peko not actually able to kill off Necro. Interesting to see. I'd like to have gone for a little bit more of the defense with that plate mail. Just trying to hold off. Peko not yet on white item. 40 CS advantage in the top lane is a rough one, but
especially
I have to say,
with that Nasus.
yeah, I have to say, Abyss is going absolutely insane, and unfortunately not in a good way. So far, just about every play that Abyss has tried to force now, including the grubs, including the dragon, have been a miss, and now you're in this awkward situation that without Peko, I don't think you win fights. And now look at what's up. The grubs. And if you allow Tunnel Snakes to get 6 grubs in this game, you are giving them a clear pathway to win this game. Or you're giving them a clear advantage. KT.
Mordekais are trying to find something. Ewell forced the ult here, getting all 3 of them flashing away, but just able to just W on them. The Q landing from Ezreal, able to, or not Ezreal, sorry, Lee Sin landing there, and able to secure that kill, the ignite, just enough ticks to kill the Tristana. Wow. I mean, and then Camille in here, they're trying to get it Ubis. Ubis is so low, that's not able to connect and secure that kill. Can they run down this Camille? I don't think so. Peko's probably just gonna run away. Even if they chase, he just eats over the wall. Wow.
These are questionable calls coming out from the likes of Never Miss, like Tunnel Snakes. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're doing. If your name is not Necroburst, Tunnel Snakes are doing all right. Bot lane's doing well. Mid lane's holding up. Xander's actually been the one winning priority so far in the jungle. But Never Misclick are just waltzing into poor situation after poor situation. The biggest thing for me on that last fight, they focused the Swain, who is just clearly the most difficult person on the other team. Oh, big steal coming out from Abyss.
Who was able to just get over the wall as well. Not able to get all 6 of those grubs.
All right, so maybe heard what we're saying a little bit. It's got to be a little bit flashy. That does deny the 6 grub advantage. 5 grub is still good because it does still spawn the grublings when you hit enemy towers, but it's not quite as strong. Bot lane, Killua.
Onto Ezreal here. Killua just getting CC into infinity. The ignite coming down as well. Kill able to go to Seraphine. I mean, that was just a CC chain. There's no escaping. You got caught by the first thing. You're getting hit by the second, third, and fifth.
Yeah, I do realize that I was a little critical of the Nautilus plus Seraphine combination, and to be fair, it did suffer during the early laning phase, but now, if they catch anybody with any CC, they are dead. Ezreal did not get to play that game. He's gone for, I didn't realize this at first, that's a teleport Ezreal, not what I would more rapidly expect with it, which is a cleanse Ezreal, given the fact you're into the Seraphine, or even like an exhaust or something like that.
Getting dove bot lane here, that Ignite coming down, not enough picks. Wait, Peko might die to turret shots, and that's a shutdown. They get traded, but I mean, Necro is gonna get that shutdown gold.
Yeah, that's a wild sequence of events in the top lane. Big mistake from Peko. It doesn't negate out in Mr. Producer. If we can grab gold for a second here. It clearly doesn't make up the still 2K advantage, but that was an unforced error in the top lane from the only member of Never Misclick at this point, who I say is keeping them in this game. That being said, look here on the bot side.
Movement here as well. Do they know Durston is there? They see him, but Ezreal trying to hit as much as they can. Just let it snow. It's just getting bursted here. They can't collapse on anyone here. Durston trying to swing in here, trying to find something. Gold's gonna go on Ubis, but the tower's gonna tank it. And Tristana's able to just burst down Durston. And able to just jump away from this damage. Ubis as well, 1 HP, gets taken down by Evo. The Swain able to just try and run away if they can. The Seraphine just touching a pixel of them. And ult coming in onto Tristana, trying to secure that. How are they still alive?
Oh my god, what is happening? A fight started, eventually won. KT just hops on Pop repeatedly, just around everything for no good reason whatsoever. I mean, is able to pick up a few kills, which is great, then decides to auto-attack and ward instead of dealing with the Mord, which ends up being their downfall. Peko maybe getting a little risky. Yeah, I see why Pekko's down here. They're trying to prioritize this first dragon for them. Keep in mind, though, that's first tower now purely into the pockets of the Nasus, who has been allowed to free farm. Now fight here in the mid lane.
Oh no, Durston is just gone. He got Camille ulted on top of. There's not much you can do in that scenario.
No, that's a big kill. That's the mid laner off the map for 17 more seconds. I don't know if they should try to keep fighting this. Let Peko split here in the mid lane and just prioritize that dragon. KT now deployed to the top side to deal with Necro Burst. Will be a tricky proposition, especially with how much armor Necro is stacked. And once again, if we could take another quick look at the gold advantage. Yeah, I mean, that gap is still holding about 2K, but what you want to do as a split push top laner, aka the Camille, is you want to keep growing that advantage. But Necro has been given a little bit of time, try and stabilize, and if given enough time, may eventually be a force in this game. Speaking of forces in this game, Rift Herald's going to be going the way of the Tunnel Snakes, and that's definitely one way to start stepping on the accelerator.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to try. I mean, it's gone to Nasus. He's just going to be split pushing, and now there's a Rift Herald on their top side.
Huh. That is a choice. I would wager to say that is the wrong choice, because typically you want Rift Herald on your jungler. Even if you want it to go top lane, you just send your jungler up to top lane and do it there. And it does take away some of your ability. Like, I'll be real straight with you. If Nasus is ever isolated with a tower, Herald is not what's going to break it.
Yeah,
it's going to be Void, it's going to be Grubs, and it's going to be the Nasus. So I really don't like that decision. It still could be fine for them, but we will end up seeing. But here's the part of the game where I'm just going to start to get really worried for the likes of Never Misclick. They don't really have a scaling option. Camille will continue to get pretty good in the side lanes. Eventually will be outscaled by Nasus. Now, how long is that eventually? That's a great question. I'd love to know the answer myself, but going into the Swain, going to Ezreal, there's no point where they just start auto-winning a fight, and Lee Sin falls off a cliff if he's not playmaking. So I guess we'll see. But at this point, I don't see how Never Misclick have really set themselves up for victory here, especially if Peko goes down.
Xander knows, or sorry, Necro knows Xander's there. Durston in the top side here. This Tristana able to just jump on them, land that bomb as well. That's so much damage. Peko here might be a 2v2. Necro burst, that Q on top of him. Lee Sin might go on it, trying to just survive here. In favor though, Peko's ulting in here. They have the Nautilus here. Nautilus ult gonna be landing onto the Nasus, and they're just getting taken out. Now they're trying to engage on Xander. Xander's taking him to his realm, though, under the tower. That's Nautilus gone, trying to survive as much as they can. Can they secure Xander on the tower here? They're going to try for it. Lee Sin jumps in here as well with the Camille going under. Wow. That was...
Yeah, that's a big sequence. I mean, keep your eyes on Iwa.
Right. Iwa coming in here with the Swain. Ulting here. This is just damage over time, but this isn't enough to get a little bit more damage and survive. The flash coming down as well. Solo health. The flash able to connect. Ubis able to secure that kill.
Yeah, big plays in the bottom lane, not to mention the top side where Derizen also goes down. Killua able to take that mid tower, maybe looking for the kill on Bane. Ultimate just goes wide, but quite a bit just picked up there by Never Misclick. I was just mentioning, they don't really have a pathway to victory that they do not make themselves. Winning hard in those side lanes.
Oh, wait,
oh,
Killua might get
Bane!
caught out here. Not much to do. Killua able to just secure that kill. Through the ult as well. Oh, but Lee Sin on top of them now, forced to flash into the Raptors. I mean, Tristana's there as well. Killua's gone here. Able to jump on top.
Yeah, a little too greedy from Killua. Really good play to secure that mid tower and the kill, but just goes a bit too far. And now the scrappy team fight nature of this Never Misclick squad may be what's going to bail them out here at the end.
Oh, wow. Pekka doing a lot of damage here already. Opting to R onto the Nasus here. I mean, Nautilus is here as well. If you're Necro, I don't know what you do here. You're just going to get CC change as well.
You die.
Yeah, no, you die.
You just die.
That is the correct
That indeed it is. Interesting to see. Pekko is still just finding ways to accelerate this. I'm curious. I don't know if there's a way to get this in front of our eyes, Mr. Producer, but that Eye of the Herald's got to be running out pretty soon. I wouldn't imagine it's going to be around for too much longer. So that could be a big disadvantage. Hopefully we'll get you guys that info quite soon, but I've got to be thinking if he doesn't get it basically off spawn. Okay, yeah, so if you see in the bottom left here, about just under 1/4 is remaining, so Necro basically has to drop a top lane. Question is, do Never Misclick remember that there's a Herald in this game, and B, will they correctly identify that's going top lane? Who knows? Especially, though, with the Dragon coming up soon, if Never Misclick don't address this, they could end up giving away basically a T2, maybe an inhibitor tower for second drag, which I don't know if that's the kind of cash money decision you want to be making here.
No, I mean, yeah,
Necro
doesn't have TP. They're not going to be able to join them, so they're just going to try and push out top lane as much as they can. Although Pekka's trying to find Killua here. I don't think they're going to be able to. Killua trying, he just, in Raptor's pit, nothing's going to land.
There's Herald drop. Derizen's pushing bot side. Nasus in the top side. This is exactly what Tunnel Snakes want. They want to create chaos pandemonium. Gonna be going for the quick dragon. That's good. How do they respond now to both side waves being just giga pushed? There's that top collision.
Like
Pekko's looking for the engage.
Pekko trying to find something. The R over onto the Swain. Seraphine ult gonna go wide. Pekko trying to find something. He is gonna find Iwa. Swain able to just root too. There's not much they can do off of it. Nautilus ult coming down onto the Swain as well. Ooh, Ezreal trying to secure Pekko. Not much they can do. They're in there so deep. Ulting Pekko. Trying to get that kill. They do secure it. And they're immediately onto the Seraphine. And Killua as well. Finding the Nautilus and the Lee Sin. Getting that shutdown goal.
Could that be game?
Wow.
I mean, look at right now, 22 minutes in. Look, there's 30 seconds on Pekko, 30 on Ubis, 25 on Bane, 23 on Just Let It Snow. Herald has gone to the top lane. Necroburst able to crack open not only the inhibitor tower, but the inhibitor. Looks like we're going to slow our rolls just a little bit. E on the minion instead of on Nasus is a choice.
I mean, I feel like you're just trying to just hit wave.
I mean, at that point, I think you just want to try to push Necro out. Maybe if he overstays, you can get a kill here. But what an absolute blunder from Never Misclick. They were so tunnel visioned in on that dragon. They had no awareness of what was happening in their top lane and their bottom lane. And even when they did, they picked a 4v3 fight in their advantage, and they lost it. Huge whiffs coming through, especially from Bane on the Seraphine. And they just found a way to make a bad situation even worse. Huge ups to Tunnel Snakes for forcing them into that position. And now, with all that happening, and finally a 3K advantage for the Tunnel Snakes, Baron's on the table.
Yeah, I mean, we saw their team fight in Dragon. I'm scared for this. I'm scared for this Baron.
Yeah, I am as well. They have Pekko down in bot lane, match up with Necro. Both players have TP. A kill here for Pekko would be huge because they
No,
can force 4v5 wherever they want.
I mean Necro's trying to go in. I mean, look at that damage trade.
Necro's not going to win that all in. Let me be very clear with you.
No,
But it's not like, oh, watch here. Xander's potentially coming down. He's on the red buff. Now, if he were to come all the way down here to help out Necro, that would leave a 4v3 up by the Baron. Pekko's just going to get the tower on their own.
Xander is just power farming right now.
Yeah, just doing whatever he can. I mean, technically, it is in Tunnel Snake's best interest here to just continue this game. And with what they saw from Never Misclick, I wouldn't be shocked if the game plan is just, hey, let our opponents make a bad decision again. Let our opponents try to set up on a neutral and then give us everything. Necroburst clearly is going to say, yes, please, I will like some more farm. Thank you very much. But
wait,
we keep going back and forth between Never Misclick.
The whole team is here. They could have a team fight. It doesn't seem like it.
Pekko's walking down mid lane.
Yeah, I know.
So here's the play that they could be looking for. They could be looking to threaten Pekko here on this 4v5, potentially forcing Necro to teleport in. But if they never take the bait, Necro will just continue this push. Looks like that Gambit's
coming to join.
No, he's going back to bot lane.
Yeah, no, Pekko's coming
in
to
the
join
river. Yeah, Ubis going in here. Not a lot of support. KT's just nowhere to be seen.
No, Pekko's going in on Necroburst here. Trying to secure it. Pekko finding the stun just barely. Do they win the all-out, though? The Ignite coming down. There's so much.
The Baron.
Yeah, on the top side here. Baron fight. Nautilus getting pulled in, getting pulled just away from everyone. And able to be just obliterated. Zinner maybe losing this fight in his realm. Oh, and the shutdown. Do they know there's a Lee Sin behind, or is he just able to walk away? It seems like Sway knows they're walking back. Wow, in that time, Killua finds too the Action ult that's able to secure it, and now Xander's back up.
Yeah, and it's just yet another fumble from Never Misclick. They didn't really engage with all they have. Remember, if you could go back to the gold info, Pekko is just the most important person on this team. I mean, KT's come a long ways, but Pekko's got 11k in his pockets. That chunk of chain wasn't there, and the rest of the map is so heavily favored for Tunnel Snakes. I mean, look at that bot lane discrepancy. 12.3k to 8.5.
Almost a 4k gold lead.
Yeah, right now, Never Misclick are unable to figure out, do we want to fight, do we want to split push, and every time they fail to come up with an answer is a huge win for the Tunnel Snakes, who may not be doing any, LCK magical cha-cha slide kind of macro play right now, but they don't have to. They're just giving questions to Never Misclick, and Never Misclick are just never clicking.
I mean, they never misclick, so maybe they got to get rid of the miss part.
Yeah, here comes Pekko. Looks like it's going to be a 5v5.
Oh, wow.
Big going in
here. Nautilus trying to land in, just trying to obliterate Thurston. It is going to land Pekko, although getting caught out as well. Swain being they're just being obliterated. The damage is so much.
That's got to be it. That's got to be game.
That was just a clean sweep. I mean, Thurston fell, but everyone else is up. They have both TPs going in topside here.
Yeah, that's going to be the game. That is just one step too many, one blunder too many, and this is that just so thick composition coming through for the Tunnel Snakes. They just try to throw Pekko straight into the front line, and here's the problem. When Pekko is CC'd in the middle of 4 people, he's not going to be able to get to the 80 carry. Killua manages on through, and I don't know what Let It Snow is going to be able to do. Biss up in 6, Pekko up in 8, but I think this game is over.
Yeah, no, I think it's over as well. Still not able to find a lot. If Ubis could do something here, flash kick in, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. And that's game.
Wow, what an opener here to Risen Draft League week number 1, game number 1, as the Tunnel Snakes take I guess technically they take a victory over the likes of Never Misclicks. That was a wild game following a wild draft. Milkshake, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna need a second to recompose
Oh,
myself and
yeah.
get us ready for the continuation of this series. So we will rejoin you guys in just a few minutes with the continuation of this best of three opener for the Risen Draft League. You're watching Never Misclick taking on the Tunnel Snakes right here on Risen Esports.
Welcome back, everybody. Game two. We're getting in here. I mean, I that first game was crazy.
Yeah, that was a game of League of Legends. I mean, there's barely any time to get in any color commentary because it just never stopped.
No.
Um, yeah, I mean, it was a decently played game by Tunnel Snakes. Never misclick. It felt like they just walked into so many troublesome situations, particularly with their jungler Abyss, who kept opting into these neutral objective fights that they just had no real reason to take. Every neutral objective felt like a massive loss for Never Misclick, and I'll be curious to see whether or not they can actually establish the priority that they thought they were playing with in game number one. Because if they can, they have the aggressiveness to win, but they just never got that lead in the first place.
No, I agree. I mean, we saw the Camille just scale infinitely. Or no, sorry, not scale infinitely, but have that early game just
Oh, it
on lock.
smashed.
No, it was crazy. And then the ball lane able to take over in for team Tunnel Snakes.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom lane quietly won. I mean, there were a few
Mhm.
flashy plays, especially in the early game. I was really, really, really underwhelmed by the Seraphine out of Bane. I felt like a
Yeah.
majority of those ultimates, both in the laning phase and out, never really landed. But that's the magic thing. As you can tell right below us, ladies and gentlemen, this is the era of Fearless Draft. It's a bit of a modified Fearless system, and how it works is thusly. Whenever a team plays a champion, so below me are all the champions that were played by Never Misclick. Below Milkshake were all the champions played by the Tunnel Snakes. Those teams cannot pick those champions. They are open to the other team. So, if for instance Never Misclick saw that Nasus in game number one, and they decided they want to play it, they could, but Tunnel Snakes would not be able to play Nasus, and as such for everyone else. So, effectively, think that each team has five specific bans against them from this point on. If we get to a game three, if the side of Never Misclick are able to win this game two and bring us to a deciding game three, that list will expand to the five champions they picked this game. Speaking of which, I think we got a draft ready. Again, ladies and gentlemen, our apologies, but with the spectator client, we do kind of have to streamline the process here today, but it means we get you to the good stuff quickly, and
Mhm.
you can already see the drafts down below you. And I got to say, from last match, this is just a completely different set of champions.
Yeah, there's not many similarities. We had,
No,
in the side of ADD, we had the Enchanter APC, and now we're on the Jhin. I mean, we still have that engaged support in the form of Rakan.
yeah, I mean, these are definitely these two teams very heavily going into what their style is. The Cho'Gath, the Misfortune, the Lily are definitely things that we've come to expect from the players on Tunnel Snakes, especially Necro. I mean, so many games we've seen him in Risen now that we just know that Cho'Gath is something he's got in his back pocket. Interesting to see that it's basically the only knockup besides a Maokai Q that can enable the Asos. That's going to be an interesting mid lane.
Mhm.
That
I
being
mean,
said, on the other side, the Gragas pickup is definitely one that we saw coming with Derizen, but I'm curious to see how it plays into Yas.
yeah, I mean, I enjoy Gragas. Gragas is just such a fun character to watch, such a fun character to play. I'm hoping to see some big things, but like you said, knock up maybe Dursim. Maybe they're able to just find the knockups on their own. They're able to just completely outplay and find these crazy angles.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting. Like we said, KT on the Gragas. It's something we've come to expect from him from is long stint playing mid lane, especially during the recent unstoppable fall of 2023 season. Um, and as the number one pick, and the first round pick for Never Misclick, the number eighth overall, that's the kind of player you expect to be the difference maker. Didn't really get off to the greatest start in the last game. Had some questionable engages, especially into Akshan. This should be a matchup he's a little bit more familiar with, given his champion, given that he plays it in solo queue. Should be a bit more prepared there. And I like the playmaking this time out of Never Misclick. Curious to see how the Rengar goes early game, but they do have the ability to really start fights in a far better manner than they were able to in the last game, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
All right. Well, game 2 is just around the corner. It's going to be curious to see whether or not Never Misclick can win the day here and bring us to a game number 3, or whether the Tunnel Snakes will be able to make this a 2-0 set. Tunnel Snakes again on the blue side. Let us know in chat, ladies and gentlemen, which side you're going for. Hashtag Team Tunnel Snakes. Hashtag Never Misclick. Let us know what you think as we hit the rift here for game number 2.
It doesn't seem like we're getting an invade here from ADD like that first game.
30 seconds.
Additionally, something I really do need to point out, all 10 players have bot coming out of this, coming out of the base. So big advantage for Necro Burst over the previous laning phase. Will have items to start this one. That's still a rough matchup if I've ever seen one. Cho'Gath into the Gwen. I can't imagine that's yeah, that's just not good for... I just pulled up some stats on my end. Yeah, an average about a 420 gold lead for the Gwen in that matchup, so that's going to be a toughie. Curious to see, though, if the advantage in the top lane actually can be capitalized on by Ubis, by KT, or whether they'll squander their opportunity again.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some better plays here from ADD. I want to see some good stuff.
I think that jungle matchup is definitely one to keep your eyes on this game. We mentioned Ubis was just so aggressive in the last game, but it was kind of like mindless aggression. He wasn't utilizing advantages they already had. He was hoping the aggressiveness gave them advantages, and it kind of led him walking face first in some bad situations. Xander, who on paper should be the worst of the two junglers. I mean, given that Ubis is listed as a D2 jungle captain for Never Misclick, Xander as a low emerald round 2 pick here. Still not terrible, but not what you'd expect of your star player. Absolutely looked like he was wiping the floor with Ubis last game. So I think there's going to be a little bit of making up for that first game that's going to be on Ubis here.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, yeah, it was just absolute wiping the floor with them. I mean, Ubis did find some good angles, and maybe playing this Rengar now, they're able to find better angles instead of that Lee Sin.
Yeah. I love the combination of the Rengar and the Rakan to start some of these fights, especially when you have a Gragas to follow up. I think last game, in their mid to late game, they really fell into the issue of they didn't have a straightforward engage. The Seraphine ult kept missing. Nautilus wasn't really finding good angles. And then Lee Sin and Camille would just go in and die. This time around, Rengar going in first, jumping onto a high priority target. Rakan can ult and E onto the Rengar, keeping those members right there. And then as they're standing there with the Rakan W pop-up, you then just get an absolute free target to yuck a barrel at, and then Explosive Cask should win you a fight. So I like that there is a clear combination that can win a fight for Misclick. So that's still just all on paper. They actually need to execute on it for it to be the advantage on your bot side.
Yeah, I mean, they have the potential to just gather people for a big bomba.
Banner is chasing Ubis under his tier 2 tower.
Ooh,
I don't think they expected that one. And now here comes the dual lanes back into the bot side. This is going to be a big fight. W goes in. Xander taken down so low. Ignite ticking away. Flash over the wall from Let It Snow. Could be enough. Vayne so low. There's first blood. And now they're looking to clean up. Iwa could be next. Picks up the next kill. But now Killua is just letting loose on Vayne. And it's AD carry versus support action. KT coming around just at the end here. What a bloodbath to start off game number 2 with. I think ADD comes out on top.
I mean, I think so. We look at the scores here. We see the 2-3. They're 800 gold up already in this early game. Very easily changed, but that first fight definitely in favor. They have a 2-0 Rakan. There's already a bounty on him.
Pekko ghosting in the top lane. No mana makes it pretty hard. Flash away from Necro. Not sure if that one was required.
No, Lilia is
especially
here, though, in case you wanted to keep going.
Yeah, with the backup from Xander, a bit of a miscommunication. So one thing to note, look at the CS differential now on the top side, in the top of your screen. 7.7 to 8.5, almost 1K, just about 700 actually. in favor of the red side for Never Misclick. But look at who's got that money. I mean, Rakan's 2-0-1,
Yeah.
has a shutdown on him, 500 golds in his pocket. Here's a miss now in the mid lane.
Okay, able to find something. Ignite is going to land on Yasuo. Yasuo flashing away here. Trying to get a little bit more damage. Doesn't seem like he's going to be able to go, but just able to get away. Both summoner spells used, though.
Yeah, very dangerous position there. Derizen actually had the ultimate. I'm actually not sure how his third Q went wide there. The knockup could have given him a chance to ultimate. Didn't quite catch KT with it, so that lane will live to see another day. But now we've got everyone's favorite time of the game. It's double neutral objective time. Grubs are up, Dragons up. Let It Snow has no idea where this Maokai is.
Maokai able to go in, the knockout onto him as well, trying to burst down damage. But Bane is just getting hit. But this MF and Maokai, they're just able to focus him down. Rakan now trying to find something on this misfortune. I don't think he's going to be able to, and he's just going to get taken down. The W dash away though. Is it just enough to secure? No, the shot. Oh!
Ooh! Shutdown goes.
Tower shot.
Yeah, taking a bit more than he could shoot. Killua just gets taken down by the tower and the Q from Let It Snow. We were mentioning the Grubs being up. It looks like it's going to be a trade. Derizen
kind of
is
make a
up
play
here.
This is
going to be
damage. That's just. Is that Derizen dead? Ult coming out here though, getting that shield as well.
Here comes KT.
Ooh, is Derizen able to stay alive here? No, we talked about that barrel landing on top of Derizen. Necro could be taken down here as well. That root coming out, able to just jump on.
Necro has ultimate. Oh, he steals the grub!
He gets a void grub. Doesn't get a kill with it, but he gets a void grub.
I mean, I think that's still wildly silly for Derizen to walk in against 3 people into that grub pit. Necro was in a terrible position. I guess made the best of a bad situation. Speaking of best of a bad situation, Bane already backed to another corner. Let It Snow goes wide with the W. Here comes the tree. They speak for the trees and they say, get over there as Bane. Oh, can he get the last shot? No, Killua.
So low here. They're both low.
Killua's though running the wrong way. Let It Snow's trying to go in W knockup.
Rakan gets the knockup.
It's a 4-kill Rakan! What is going on?
This is not normally. Oh, Zenith's here though. I think he's just gonna get swept up. He might be able to look on this Maokai, potentially trying to find something though. The W's gonna miss short, and I think he's just dead to Lilia burn. Those Qs landing.
Shut down.
Yeah, I mean, as funny as it is that we are now looking at a 4-kill Rakan here, not much you can do without the AD carry for too long. Interesting back and forth. You can clearly see the pedigree coming out from Killua and Iwa. Not saying that they're not making missteps, but this is a much better situation for the Misfortune than it is for the Jhin at this point in time. If we're clearing up the gold real quick, I guarantee you it's a bit night and day here. Though with that being said, look at how low both of them are just because of the constant fighting. It's 41-40 at 8 minutes 30. That is not great CSing numbers for bot laners. Kills should help with that. Pekko now.
They're all in here. Pekko's trying to ult here and burst down Necro as much as they can. The knockup's gonna land. That ult doing so much damage though. Necro's just trying to
got nowhere to go.
No, he got nowhere to go. No. Ooh. Oh.
Now ulti here in the mid lane. Derizen goes for the ultimate. Ultimate comes out from KT, knocks him away.
Wow.
Derizen just gonna be taken away. Flash goes wide. Derizen not able to get out of this one just yet. Here comes Abyss.
The ult's going to be popped as well to try and secure them.
Yeah, it's a interesting play here.
Oh, that is. We saw that flash go wide. I thought maybe Derizen had a chance to run away. Oh wait, Maokai has nowhere to run. They have nowhere to run. They're just going to try and get in here and knock him off. The rooted again from the Jhin W. Maokai landing on all 3 of them though. They're all rooted up here. That's gonna stop the fight.
Yeah, not finding a lot, but I have to say now with the timer taking over just about the 10th minute, this is a much better position for Never Misclick than it was in game number 1. The money's in the right people. KT looks like a monster right now. 3-0-1, still only on 52 CS, but those kills should help stem the gap. And once again, Necroburst is being beaten down in the top lane. The only major advantage, I think, on the map right now for the Tunnel Snakes is the bot lane again. It's Iwa and Killua.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to try and find something. The rest of the team is just gone. I mean, they have that somewhat scaling top laner again in Cho'Gath, trying to build up as much health as he can.
Yeah, doing what he can. Now gank here in the mid lane.
Ooh, the knockup landing. Yasuo was opting to ult on top of it. Did they have enough damage? KD able to just dash away though.
Yeah, unfortunately, this early on in the game, and with the Risen not having any crit yet, Yasuo does get that crit multiplier as part of his passive. It doesn't really have the damage to do much to KT, and ultimate whiffing. That was an ultimate. That was a Q. Sorry, KT does still have the ultimate. Crossover gank coming from Xander. Not going to be doing too much, but just identifying where Abyss is in the jungle clear. As Gromps, Void Grubs Part 2 come up. 6 Grubs are off the table, but a 5 Grubs game could still be on the card. Here comes Just Let It Snow, finishing for the mid lane gank here.
Yeah, they definitely could look to fight here. Tristan doesn't have anywhere to go. He's walking up here. Lilia does see 2 people. Ubis is on Yasuo. They're trying to find something. They're dashing on top of Durston. Durston able to dodge the barrel, doing as many moves as he can to try and get away here, but there's 4 people on top of you. Now a fight for the Void Grubs. Cho'Gath able to take one Void Grub. What is happening? There's so much happening right now. Lilia able to sleep 2 of them, trying to find something here. Greg is able to just go on top of Lilia. What happened?
Yeah, that was a wild fight that came around. So if those who weren't really weren't being up to snuff, started off with Necro and Xander trying to take those grubs right under the nose.
Fight in here. The W landing, the exhaust coming down on the Jhin, the ult as well. Misfortune able to just do so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, exhaust on that 4-shot really will cripple Bane's ability to get that Jhin damage out. All right, quick version of what happened there. 2 people started Void Grubs from the side of TSN. Durston gets caught out after like 4 different abilities missed from the side of Never Misclick. Necroburst and Xander were able to take away 1 of the grubs, denying the 5 grub advantage from Never Misclick, but then they both died afterwards, so they stopped the 5 grub game. So now, Never Misclick will not get those little Void Grubs to help them take towers. They'll still get a bit of a buff, but the question is, what did they have to sacrifice in order to get there?
They're not finding anything.
No, it's an interesting move towards the top side, especially as Dragon's on the table. If anything, they'd want to be moving numbers towards the bottom side of the Rift, seeing if they can get their second Dragon. But it looks like Never Misclick, quite rightfully so, are going to be claiming this Dragon, begin their Dragon stacking, because they just have so much power on the bottom side of this map. Peko looking for the engage on a Necro.
Trying to find something. Necro going to Q himself, able to knock up. That are just doing so much damage. And Peko is able to just secure Necro. Oh, jump in here from the Rengar. So much damage. That Gragas able to just burst down Durston. And they're able to find the Lily as well.
Yeah, Xander's just completely in the wrong position going into that fight. Ubis plus KT are just an absolute menace right now. 23 stacks on the Hubris, which will just keep getting better as the game goes. But Bane is left all alone in the bot side, think he can just outrun the ultimate from the Maokai. And it's almost a flip side from what we saw in Game 1. Game 1, Never Misclick got a wild advantage in the top lane and just weren't able to capitalize on it. We kind of seen that on the bot side now for Tunnel Snakes. They have a huge advantage, but there is so much playmaking going on elsewhere that they're fine just saying, all right, Bane, it's been a pleasure playing with you. We'll see you in Game 3 at this point. But the rest of the map is absolutely popping off, and I think they have more tools than they need in order to deal with this misfortune come mid to late. So huge turnaround from game number 1 coming out here for Never Misclick. If you just need any, last indications of that, look at that 4.6k gold lead here at 14 minutes 32. I got a feeling we're heading to game 3 now.
Yeah, definitely from what's happened already and hopefully what comes to happen. Hopefully, I think AD will be able to hold on to this lead.
Here's a stat line that I think perfectly describes this game for you. In the solo lanes, Tunnel Snakes have a combined score of 0, 8, and 1 right now. That is how the solo lanes for Tunnel Snakes are going. Obviously, never MISCLICK. They are reaping the rewards of winning those lanes so heavily. Next neutral objective is on the map, and that's going to be the Rift Herald. KT knocking Risen down pretty low before this one. Curious to see, Xander is up here on the top side looking for the Herald. Looks like a play onto Killua.
Looks like they're trying to.
Let us know has the ultimate.
Oh wow! Let us know is just able to just do so much. They're not able to do that much damage. We get away from the action bot side.
Care of the wall.
Here. Top lane, Maokai Hextech flashing over to find 2. He also ulting onto Gragas here. Gragas being taken down as well as Yasuo. Seems like
that's a 2-4 on the bot side.
Wait, what happened bot side? Hold on. Pekko able to just be caught out of position and just taken out. Uba's trying to escape here. What happened bot side?
Okay, so in bot lane, it was a botched dive. Bane and Let It Snow tried to dive that bot tower, and the problem was, after the ultimate and all that went away, Killua was still hitting. Killua had the exhaust. When Killua exhausts Jhin, he just stops taking damage. And Killua is so far ahead that he can win the 2v1. That is another massive blunder from the way of Never MISCLICK, because they give away the advantage in the bot side with 2-on-1, and they end up face-checking a Rift Herald that they have less members on. They lose that fight, they lose the Rift Herald, and they potentially just lost control of this game. What was just nearly a 5k gold differential is just evaporated in the blink of an eye to just over 1k now. It's not lost for Never MISCLICK, but that is yet another massive misstep that they need to avoid if they want to keep this series alive.
Yeah, no, that is a big setback.
Yeah,
Going
Rakan.
from 5k to just almost nothing, and actually just a bit
Yeah.
of a 1.5k gold lead. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
And I understand the idea with trying to tower dive the Misfortune 2v1. Hey, this is the lane we've really neglected. Let's try to get the kill on the AD carry with the shutdown. Let's see what we can get here. Abyss. Oh, I don't think they were getting the Rengar.
They just didn't expect anything to happen. MF and Maokai here getting taken. Killua along with Ua. I just didn't expect that. I didn't expect to flash in.
No, I mean, Abyss didn't even flash in. Abyss just used Rengar passive. That's what Rengar does. He jumps on you. And Killua never expected their jungler to just be in their bush. They've been used to it being a 2v2 lane for so long now. Just didn't expect the jungler to be there. And that's a big shutdown going the way of Abyss, of Bane, of the bot lane for ADD. Never MISCLICK do finally find a chink in the armor that is the Tunnel Snakes bottom lane, and they will reclaim a healthy advantage here on the bot side. Now Pekko maybe has Necro Burst exactly where he wants him. No tier 1 tower available for Necro.
Oh my gosh, the damage from Pekko, it will just output.
I don't know why he's not going in. That's a free kill right there.
No, he's just opting to get the farm.
Yeah, also another interesting note, once more Tunnel Snakes have put the Rift Herald onto Necro, but now with that happening on the top side, Tunnel Snakes are once again first to this dragon. No setup here for Never MISCLICK, and they're just going to give this one away.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Curious sequence of events as, once again, with their numbers, they have the abilities to win these neutrals, but they're just not prepared for them. KT looking for the kill.
KT
What a
so much damage!
Yeah,
oh
an absolute bomba in mid
Seems like they're
lane.
gonna fight here though. Maokai trying to RN find something here. They don't know it's a 4v2. They're trying to find something. There goes so much damage onto Xander. There's not. I think they thought it was okay. This is a 2v3. We can maybe turn this, and then Ubis just coming out of the bush, landing on top of Xander.
Yeah, I mean, counter here from Iwa, but once that tower's off, there's not a lot of damage there. Herald deployed in the top side. Once again, the top lane Rift Herald speciality put up there, but, you know, big fight win. You just see how powerful the members of this red side are for Never MISCLICK. They're going to go on Necro. I don't think Necro has really anything to fight back with. No ultimate. No, it just absolutely dead to rights here. Flash from Ubis is wildly unnecessary.
Trying to dodge that eat.
guess so, but I don't know if you knew this, but the ultimate wasn't actually up yet. The ultimate did not come up
Oh.
after Rengar, after the Cho'Gath was dead, but still looking at how Never MISCLICK take this advantage.
Might
to
get
try to
caught
win
out
the
here.
game.
They're going to be able to dodge that W as well, trying to do so much damage to Bane. Bane able to flash away. And in exchange, Killua just gets taken out.
Yeah, Killua trying to... Killua now is the star member of the team who is in the disadvantaged position. We saw it from Ubis in game number 1. When Ubis went down, he felt the need to just solo playmate. Like that he needs to be the one to bring this game back. And it really led to some bad positions. This game, exact opposite's happening. Killua is the star member of the team and is on the losing side. And it feels like they need to make plays to get this big game back. So all of a sudden just randomly goes 1v2 under tower. Not able to pull off just barely, but now that attempt at redemption will put them even further behind here. The gold graph is violently swinging this way in favor for Never MISCLICK. 5K is a tricky position. If it wasn't for the 2 dragons that Tunnel Snakes currently have, this game would be a lot closer to finish. Pekko here.
Trying to go on to Necro. And they're just going to have so much damage. Pekko doing so much with those scissors.
Wait. But this is 3 onto Necro. What are they doing down here? There's Baron on the board.
Oh, Necro trying to get so much to flash and are used onto Ubis, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough. I feel like there was a world where if Tunnel Snakes had recognized what was happening earlier, they should have just taken Baron. KT, I don't think can solo contest that. Maybe he can be dangerous, but with Gwen, Rakan, and Ubis bot lane, that should have been a free Baron.
He is forced to flash as Ubis is just on top of him with the Rengar, stops the Hex portal, and he's just able to get caught out of position with that Hex gate, able to get Ubis already on top of Durson.
Yeah, now Ubis is just trying to fish a little bit with that ultimate. Not going to go in just yet. 1 member dead for the side of Tunnel Snakes. Derizen being down means it's 4v5. A lot of pressure coming out of Pekko in the bottom side, drawing 2 members before recalling. Might actually give Never MISCLICK the opportunity they need to set up this Baron. Don't know if they're going to pull the trigger just yet, but this is definitely how they try to win the game. If they can get this Baron, they can really start knocking down some towers that have just been alive for too long. I am baffled that this mid lane T1 is still on the board.
Yeah, that is actually kind of surprising.
Other thing to note here, Dragon is up in 45 seconds, and once again, this is one of the situations where if Tunnel Snakes were able to get this, they would, despite being at over a 6K disadvantage at this point, put themselves on Soul Point. Now, it is only Windrake Soul. It's good, not great. But still, that's just an advantage that should never be allowed to go to the side of the Tunnel Snakes at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Snow's in a bit of trouble here.
Ooh, who's Hex skating in? It's Ewok trying to find something here with that Maokai. Able to just W on top of the Rakan, trying to stop the engage. Maokai ult coming down here, finding Ubis. He's able to just cleanse it with them and power W.
Yeah, already finding a man advantage down here in the Dragon 4v4 fight as Derizen's all still on the top side. He's still pushing. Engage coming around.
Oh, KT able to find Xander doing so much damage. Ubis trying to jump in from the bush, flashing away from that knockup from Necro as Ewok, or sorry, not Ewok, Killua, gets taken down in that bush trying to ult to do somewhat damage. And that's a 4v4 that just completely not in the favor of Tunnel Snakes at all.
Yeah, the Tunnel Snakes, they spent so much trying to get the kill onto Rakan, onto Let It Snow, but once they got him, they didn't have enough left in the tank to deal with the absolute monsters on this red side. KT and Ubis just absolutely ripped through the members of the Tunnel Snakes, and with that, they will gain control of that Dragon. Split push from Derizen. It's the same game plan as last game. Just put 1 member away from the neutral objective, and hope that there's enough confusion that that member just takes the bank. Problem with that is that they didn't win the Dragon fight. It was a much more composed response from Never MISCLICK this game. They didn't let the craziness get to them, and their reward for it is their 2nd drag of the game and an 8K gold advantage. This is the point where they should be looking for their knockout blow. And if they're looking for a good pair of gloves to throw that punch with, Baron buff, those are some good mins right there.
Yeah. Seems like Bane and Just are trying to go on to kill here. The MF, it's not going to happen much. He was able to CC and just be there for some moral support. Xander might try and go in here. They don't know. It's a 4v4 fight if they want to take it. Yasuo and Gwen are just trying to like match each other on the bot side here.
Yeah. That's a matchup that Gwen wins easily. I mean, just look at the difference in gold, look at the difference in itemization. That's not even a question. And with that, that's going to be a constant source of pressure. You're already seeing Xander having to hover that bot side just to keep their solo laner safe. Question is, what do never MISCLICK do with that advantage? And fortunately for them, it doesn't really seem like a lot. They have gotten that mid lane T1 tower, which is great and all, but they're not doing a great job of really disrupting the economy of the tunnel stakes. They're not going in, they're not invading, they're not setting up deep vision lines, and they're not controlling the neutral objective. So even though they have the gold lead, which will make fights easier, they're not doing enough to keep their opponent out of this game. And as long as they do that, there will also always be the chance where they make one mistake and throw it all away. Maybe at this point, like 2 mistakes to lose an AK gold lead, but it's still possible as long as they do not put their foot down and absolutely push them out of this game. Xander
getting caught out here. So much damage. It looks like the engage coming out here. Big bomba, that QR combo onto Lilia, just disappearing. Doesn't seem like much more is going to happen. Peko on the bot side here, able to just use that R, use those cuts, use that true damage, that tank shred against that Cho'Gath, even with 2 magic MR items.
Yeah. And now, I think Necro may be going down here as well. Peko should be able to die for this one. That's a 2-man advantage now, continuing the fight into the jungle. Finds the next kill. Killua going down as well. Don't even need the Jhin ultimate. Forget 4. It doesn't even take 1 down here. Derizen's trying to find something. Once again, I don't know if he wins this fight. Okay, he's going to win that fight.
He gets the 750 shutdown.
He's going to win that fight as apparently the ultimate's good or something. But the big prize right here is the big purple worm. Baron buff. Finally in the hand of Never MISCLICK. They've been waiting 2 games for this one, and finally, I think they are ready for that knockout blow we've been talking about. 10k plus Baron. That's, if they can't end now, they just never will. If they do not end the game with this Baron, this game is never ending.
Yeah, I mean, this gold lead has only increased to almost a 10k gold lead. You have just the fallback, the safety plan of that 10k gold. I mean, you just want to end this game though.
Ubis is here to press delete on Derizen. I don't think there's any. I don't think you even needed to go back to the bush. I think if you stay on, you get the kill there. But either way, takes a swing at Derizen, who is somewhat coming back into the game. Big shutdown onto the Gwen. It's gonna help out quite a bit. How are they gonna go about this Baron push is the biggest question. There's quite a bit of counter engage here on the blue side for the Tunnel Snake, so they do need to be careful and methodical with their approach.
Ooh, Yuan might get caught out here. He is going to get rooted from that Gen W, just being knocked out by so much. He is going to be taken down as Rakan is just landing on top of Killua. MF is going to get taken down. Xander trying to get in here, maybe out of that slow from the barrel, and they're able to get knocked out from the Rakan W. That's just doing so much damage to them. Xander's going down as well. I mean, this is the play to end the game.
You can't ask for a better setup for the end here. 5 versus 2. That is the arithmetic here. No Void Grubs can make it a little bit harder.
He can, but he's just taking so much damage.
Yeah, forget the champions now. Just get the tower. Once the tower's gone, there's nothing for them to stand under here.
Oh, Yasuo finding 2 on the ult, able to dodge the Rakan W as well. Necro trying to do something in tank for him. Derizen is just trying to find something here. Tower going down though. The knockup landing on top of Derizen. And he's taken down so much damage though. Almost on a good play with that double knockup into the ult. Not enough.
And now here's what they're doing. They're cycling the kills. They're making sure no one's keeping up. KT engaging on the wall. Can he get out?
Barrel landing into the wall. She's seeing them. And Gwen just able to do so much damage over the wall. Able to secure that. KT might get taken down here. The Ignite landing as well. Drowsy, sleepy from that Lilia, but Lilia explodes.
Yeah, and with that, that should finally be enough. It only took 15K or 14K gold advantage. It only took 30 minutes into game number 2. But finally, Never MISCLICK have found their footing. And they are not only going to take the Nexus, they are going to bring us, ladies and gentlemen, to game 3 here in week 1 of the Risen Draft League. What a series we have here on our hands.
I mean, that was crazy. With that, hubris was just stacking up throughout the whole game on the Rengar, able to just in that last play completely explode the Lilia.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, that Never MISCLICK is not a coordinated team. There is very little synergy as far as these macro decisions go. But when their playmakers have money, they can make plays. I mean, Abyss, KT, Pekko, when they were going strong. They're not perfect players, which is why they need to continue winning those 1v1s. But when they do get ahead, they can stay ahead. And that was the game that Never MISCLICK were waiting for. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the conclusion of game 2. But do not fret. We have more action coming up for you in just a few short moments here as we get ready for game number 3, Tunnel Snakes versus Never MISCLICK here here in week 1 of the Risen Draft League. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
涙よ星に瞬きを伝えて守るものがあるからきっと強くなれる語るべき言葉なくした星の守り手は時の果て夢の果て闇に立ちすくんだ風を呼んでみたんだ空に向けて誰かを呼んでみたんだ光求めたソリチュードかすかなレゾナンス確かに届くロマンスそんな流れ星たちを抱き留めた明日が見えなくだって乗り越えなくちゃって奇跡の奇跡描き未来へつなぐ Growing High 心のフォトンが銀河にこぼれて道を強く照らす Burning Bright それぞれの思い秘めた星の守り手は空からの呼ぶ声に導かれた重ねる手と手には言葉なんかより伝わることがある熱い心通じ合った確かなレゾナンス見つけるのはエッセンス目指した意識の先がディスティネーション答えが見えなくてくじけそうになって支え合い誓い合う絆でつなぐシャイニースマイル心のフォトンが銀河に溢れて道を開く鍵は My Starlight Heart 明日が見えなくだって乗り越えなくちゃって奇跡の奇跡描き未来へつなぐ Growing High 心のフォトンが銀河に溢れて道が開いたら羽ばたいてゆこうよ乗り越えてゆこうよ星空と溶け合っていつまでも行ける Fly High まっすぐ願いを世界に歌って新しい夜も新しい朝もここからまた始めよう My heart shines endlessly 飛び立て強く強く輝いて消えた流れ星ほら命が燃える何かに怯え走り続けたその虚しさのしじまに何を見て
Welcome back, everybody. Week 1, in the split here against Team Tunnel Snakes and MISCLICK.
Yeah, we have what can only be described as a game coming to you. Just a quick reminder, as this is still the first week of the draft league, this is the first of 5 weeks of the regular season. So both these teams, neither are eliminated from the playoffs with a loss here, but you want to start your season off right, and a win in game number 1 makes the rest of the season so much easier. But making things a little harder is our draft process, and keep it look right below, because this is the Fearless Draft. 10 champions now are de facto banned for each team under milkshakes. Those are the bans for the Tunnel Snakes. Tunnel Snakes cannot play any of those 10 champions. Never Misclick, they're below me. They can't play any of those 10 champions. And it's a growing list now. Neither of the two teams have crossed over just yet in champions selected, so we'll have to see as we get ready now for our final draft of the day, and we do have that one right for you guys. Quick note, Never Misclick are on the blue side this game. Tunnel Snakes, they move over to the red.
You know, I'm seeing some things that I like, and I'm seeing some things that I don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. Let's just go through what we expect these comps to be top to bottom. For Never Misclick, starting the top lane, we believe that's going to be an Olaf. We think it is Olaf, Kha'Zix, Jace, Ziggs, Maokai, top to bot for ADD. On TSN, we believe that's going to be Renekton, Nocturne, Talia, Caitlyn, Morgana. I am petrified for this top lane matchup for Necroburst because Olaf into Renekton, seeing how this top lane matchup has been going, I do not expect a good game from Necroburst here. It is going to be a rough one.
Yeah, I can only expect to see some hopefully good things. Maybe it's someone outplaying and not just Renekton or Necro just completely messing up. I want to see them, have a little bit of a stand. Maybe they're just a secret Renekton player.
Could be. That's certainly an option. Jungle is an interesting one as well. Never Misclicks Abyss, once again, the guy that we've kind of been looking to be the main catalyst for Never Misclick. He's on the Kha'Zix into the Nocturne coming out of Xanner. That's an interesting matchup. It's one of those where I'd expect Kha'Zix to win the 1v1, but Nocturne is just like the ultimate low coordination jungler, because if the other team is not actively tracking where you are, you just press R and can cause havoc on the map.
No, it is. That's definitely gonna be something to watch out for.
Certainly is. Looking at mid lane, Jace versus Talia. I got that one pegged as a skill matchup. That should be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, definitely. The
And
skill from the Jace trying to do as much as they can, and then Talia as well. Very heavy characters.
yeah, and then we go on to bot lane. Ziggs Maokai versus Caitlyn Morgana. Morgana scratches the head a little bit. It does keep Caitlyn safe from the Maokai, as well as providing a little bit of poke and the lockdown with a Q. But given that it's playing into a Ziggs, I don't know how effective that's going to be. Caitlyn, very strong. Will point out, ladies and gentlemen, for any of you, especially if you've been watching LCS or whatnot, in this draft league, the Caitlyn Titanic Hydra double headshot proc is classified as a known bug. Therefore, it is illegal for any player to use under threat of disqualification. So we'll keep our eyes very firmly locked on Killua's build. Killua has been the main carry for this team in their games. We hope that they stay on the right side of the law, especially given that they're playing, the police officer here.
Yeah.
Piltover's Finest. We'll see if Piltover's Finest can stay. For those of you who don't know, of course, we got the Netflix show. Do catch up on Arcane if you're missing the lore there. But we'll have to see whether or not Piltover's Finest can uphold the law here. Maybe if they scourge on the wrong side for once. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tight one here. As we get loaded onto the Rift, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 3 in a best of 3. Somebody is walking away with the Rift, with the Nexus this game, and that team is walking away with the series and a big boost to their playoff hopes.
30 seconds
As
until
they're coming out of
minions
week 1 of the
spawn.
draft league here. No invasion once again. Just a quick exchange of emotes. Looks like everyone's just about where we expected them to be. For my money, no runes are too out of the ordinary. Just about what we'd expect. I don't know if you... I haven't seen a lot of Morgana as of late, so I don't know if the...
I mean,
if the frozen is...
Minions have spawned.
I feel like that's the normal thing to go. I don't disagree with it. I just don't... I don't know. I guess I haven't seen enough Morgana as of late. But
I mean,
makes
if
sense.
they can hit a Q, it will stack with that slow. But the issue is if they can hit that Q.
You're already stepping. You're already slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it apply on your ultimate, I think? On ultimate
I mean,
proc, I think.
Yeah, if it's CC and yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll make the ultimate a little bit easier to hit. I think the other choice probably would have been either Summon Ares. I think Summon Ares would be a solid pick with the poke, or you could go for something really, really defensive.
Already just in Necro's lane.
This is
in his wave.
This is how Olaf works. He's just gonna throw cleavers at you and run at you. It's gonna be dangerous.
Ooh, speaking of
Necro
that
does.
Morgana Q landing.
I mean, it's level 1. Not much is gonna happen.
True. I mean, I thought maybe they'd have some crazy damage.
No, I mean, keep in mind, once they're level 2, especially if Killua goes for W level 2, it's a very strong combo to hit a Morgana binding into a Caitlyn trap, as it will just max damage you for the entirety of your combo. I like the idea here, as Let It Snow does step onto a trap. I like the idea here from the bot lane of Never MISCLICK. They haven't had any priority down here. They've lost nearly every single laning phase. So just give him Ziggs. Give him something that he can farm from 3 screens away on, and will just be effective in this mid to late game. I like the idea. We'll have to see whether or not that actually comes to fruition.
Definitely have to watch out for these Caitlyn traps here. Wait, just Let It Snow. Almost got caught out there. They go in, get hit with, I think, was it a Morgana root? The trap barely missing, and they're just taking down the low health. You also have to watch out for those Caitlyn traps behind that tower. You can't see them.
Yeah. Yeah, especially depending on how you position your camera. You can hide one there's actually one right behind the tower right now. Let It Snow almost stepping on it. In fact, I think he will step on it right now.
Is that enough? Coming down as well, like Q landing. Not enough. Killua offing. Just trying to get this wave in.
Yeah, a little bit haphazard from the bot lane of Never MISCLICK. Let It Snow not even going to be able to back off
I don't
just
think
yet.
that Caitlyn Q is going to connect.
It would have been right on the edge there. I don't think he needed to back off. Pekko popping the ghost. Flash out of Necro. Keep in mind, with this top lane matchup, Necro has the combat advantage of the Ignite, but gives up the ability to TP. That's a lot of damage on Vayne for taking a TP to lane there, speaking of TPs. So if Pekko can ever force Necro out of lane, he has the TP advantage. He'll lose a lot. Speaking of which, here comes Abyss, who may be trying to show him the door. That is one low crocodile.
That is just Ubis able to jump on top, getting the isolation Q. That's clutch.
And Observer, we can go back to top lane. Look at Pekko right now. Look at that giant wave that Necro is now going to be losing on top of dying here. That is a perfectly timed play coming out from the top jungle duo of Never MISCLICK. And that is how you win top lane right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I knew it was over when we saw the low crocodile and Ubis just sitting in the bush waiting.
Pekko's just walking back into this fight. He's low HP, ignites Veil for Necro. He's going to pop it. This is a mistake from Pekko.
No, yeah, Pekko's definitely going to get caught out here running into the wave. Not much they can do. Necro just going to be able to take him down. Yeah, that's just a complete misstep.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been absolutely insane if he was going to be able to pull it off. If he was able to keep Necro away from the wave. Which, in theory, he actually kind of does, but he gives away the gold.
Try and collapse on here. Who got the... Oh, the Smite coming out here trying to secure that red buff. Denner, keep going in here.
Snow.
They have that chase with that Q trail, but KT's here as well, jumping in there. Let It Snow, just trying to do as much as they can. Allows KT to jump on to Xener. Trying to find Durston now. Durston. Oh, and Pekko's there as well. There's not much you can do there. Yeah, KT's able to secure that kill.
Keep it. Look here. Pekko actually doesn't get the assist. I think his Q.
Oh?
He, as Let It Snow pounded with Q, actually pushed Derizen out of range of the Olaf Q. So unfortunately, Olaf does lose quite a bit there. And that advantage they just built up on the top side actually just completes the wave side. I think if we check the gold here, a little bit aggressive. Yeah, it just about evened out now. That's actually better than I thought it would be. I thought Pekko would actually be down at this point, but they are now even. Though I will point out a lot of that gold is still...
Maokai here. Here with Ubis as well. They're trying to do something. Maokai just getting CC chain and so much damage applied. The Knight coming down as well. That was so much damage and just that quick engage at level 4 as well. Oh, the flash! Finding almost connecting, forcing the flash.
That's a very confident flash coming out of Iwa.
Yeah.
Look at the support they have available. Derizen on the Taliyah has the ultimate available. They may be looking for a bot lane dive here. Xander does not have the ultimate to follow, but here he comes.
They are going in. Derizen. Does that Q knock him over the wall? Not in a good place right now. Ubis is there as well to try and help here. That isolation damage is going to be a lot.
What a play coming out from Let It Snow, and a bit of a blunder from Derizen. While Xander was working on Dragon, they could have been perfectly content just leaving them in bot lane, taking the Dragon for free, but they overreach, still get the Dragon for the Tunnel Snakes, as this guaranteed won't be a Hex Soul, a Hextech Dragon, won't be a Mountain Drake either, Soul. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 steps back for the Tunnel Snakes. We'll have to see. They are keeping this game nice and even, but some advantages are starting to be taken.
Here onto KT, trying to maybe get. He forces that flash out. I mean,
yeah,
if he doesn't, he's getting feared into Taliyah knockback.
Yeah, he has to. Decent choice. Should have backed off probably before that for KT, but will vacate the area. Now here is the point of the game where Tunnel Snakes are really going to try to take off. Xander
is coming in here from
almost.
The top side. Oh, the flash route onto the Caitlyn. Trying to do something. That binding is going to land onto Ubis. Maybe seeing a little bit of damage. Ubis just lands on top of Iwa. Able to secure that, and Killua coming down shortly. Maybe getting Ubis, but it's not going to be enough damage, and Ubis secures a double kill on the bot lane.
Yeah, very poor play from Xander as well. So this is what I was saying. The Nocturne ultimate was almost up, and level 6 Nocturne is one of the best tools in your repertoire for making some macro plays at this level of competition. It doesn't take a lot of coordination. You can really take advantage of that gap closer of your portion of your ultimate. Here comes Pekko. Got a lot of HP, but 4 members here should prevent him from getting anything in on this. Goes for the steal with the Q, doesn't quite find it. And those were some good plays on bot lane by Never MISCLICK, but there's always a price to pay.
Necro's ulting in here and goes being matched with the Necro's ult, but it's not going to be enough. He's able to just throw the cleaver, just do so much damage.
Yeah, that matchup does not get easier. That matchup is going to spiral in the top lane, which is why I was so confused when I saw the Renekton pick here for TSN. Ornn would have been my first choice for them. Ornn was available this whole time.
Trying to fight here, flashing from Killua, trying to do something to Bane here. That net is going to land, doing so much damage. Morgana is able to secure that kill with that binding. Killua's so low, though. If they can kite out this Maokai, it's a big play bot side. But they're not able to, and Maokai just lands on top of them. And, I mean, just Let It Snow is going to fall down to that Maokai. But in the top lane here, Xander also coming up here, trying to get onto Pekko. Necro here as well, trying to get that fear if they can land it. It's going to be a lot of damage from Necro. Ubis is here, though. They might try and look to turn this. Oh my god, Pekko doing so much damage onto Xander. And Necro should fall to Ubis here. Flash out, trying to get away if they can. With a leap from Ubis. Wow.
Yeah, these are some desperation plays coming out from the Tunnel Snakes. Good play in the bot lane to go for that trade. Unfortunate that Killua does drop. Yeah, Killua's dead. Bane's dead.
Yeah.
May get the Iwa.
Oh, the snipe is gonna land onto Iwa.
He's another W, he gets out.
He's doing a great job. He's dodging the Caitlyn Qs. He's doing as much damage as he can, but it's unfortunate. But just Let It Snow is there as well.
That's a 2-for-1. I mean, here's the thing. It is still some gold.
Oh my gosh, they're on Ubis now. Xander trying to kill Ubis if they can. That trail able to just allow them that gap close. Derizen as well, getting caught by that Taliyah, getting taken down. Oh my! In exchange though, Xander is gonna fall for the kill on Ubis.
Yeah, it's a tricky swap there on the top side. Just people falling left and right. Ubis and KT being picked off is very suboptimal. Killua and Iwa going down effectively for a 2v1 on the bot side. Also not great, though I will say this is really sucking the resources away from Killua, who has traditionally been the carry for this Tunnel Snake side, and there really isn't a successor waiting in the ranks. Let It Snow is still doing his best to get every kill possible. 3-1 and 4. I know we had the 4-kill recall in the other game.
Ooh,
It was going in.
Morgana running in here, trying to get this R off. It's going to connect. That Glacial Augment is doing a lot for the slow. Killing able to land a trap. Forces the Bane's flash. But Just Let It Snow able to ult as more top lane action is happening. What is happening all around the map? They're able to find Just Let It Snow. Just, oh my. Bane able to survive on just a sliver of health.
Yeah, a sequence of misplays here really is going to bring the gold differential a little closer to even. 1.8 now in favor for Never Misclick. They could be squandering some of those early opportunities, and this is such an early game composition for them. Jace, Olaf, Kha'Zix all thrive on big early advantages, and if you do not keep them constantly ahead, they do somewhat fall off. Now, that being said, Renekton is also a pick that exists on the side of TSN, and that's not exactly the greatest late game scaler in the world either. So it's not like they lose the game if this game goes over the 20-minute mark, but they have some big advantages.
Out here. Oh.
Yeah,
So
he might.
So much damage. Oh, the Talia wall trying to cut him off. He's able to just flash over, but he's dead. That's flash in exchange for his death. Not able to get away.
Yeah, not able to get away. Dragon
might be
once
looking
again.
for Bane here as well.
They're not going to be able to find... well, Xander does have the
No.
ultimate. If he gets vision onto Bane, he'll get it. I don't think he does as Bane's currently sitting in the bush, but with Xander on the bot side of the map, that's either going to be a Herald or a tower dive top. Looks like it's going to be the Herald for Never Misclick, as finally they get their first neutral objective of the game. KT, he's going to be getting flanked here by Xander.
Yeah, no.
Should turn into a 2v2.
Yeah, Ubis is there to fight with him. I don't know if they know Ubis is there. He's sitting in the bush. I don't know if that gives them any vision.
Ubis was clearing the
Wait,
Void Grub on a
yeah,
ward.
the Necro's down here.
Yeah.
What happened in the top lane? We didn't get to see that.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened in the top lane. He's playing Renekton and Olaf, and he did not have an early game. But yeah, I don't know if Ubis ever saw. He was clearing those Void Grubs on a ward.
Oh.
So they had full vision of where he was.
Just the snow here. Oh, on to the Xander. And there's not much Xander can do. He's trying to escape, but Bane there as well to help secure it.
Yeah, very greedy invasion here. Doesn't really have the mid lane or the bot lane to back it up. Will go over for an easy kill as the game does start to turn back into the favor for Never Misclick. Interesting.
They look like they want to fight mid here.
They may want to. I don't know if this is really going to happen, especially with a Morgana. The only real engage they have is the Maokai ultimate. If Morgana puts her black shield at the right time.
Oh, they're going. It's a flash in here with that Trailblazer, able to get so much movement speed. They're trying to get onto this Caitlyn and Killua, having that ult, that Ziggs ult coming on top of them, but they're able to flash away, able to escape with just a sliver of health.
Yeah, just able to get away from that one. It's quite lucky, actually. With that mid prio, will they actually turn that into anything? Herald is up on the board, but I don't think they're gonna have the footing to change anything right there. Derizen's waiting in the flanks, maybe with the wall. But I think both teams now aware at the existence of Herald and getting ready to set up for that. That's going to be the next major point of conflict. Pekko still holding a mighty lead in the top side.
Hey?
KT split on the bot side, does have TP.
Could get caught out here. Ubis is trying to look for something here. Can't really go on that Morgana with that shield from that support item. It's just like a crown. Although Pekka might want to go into Necro here, but he's just able to dash away. Xander
Power for KT.
That is the reason. Oh, Ubis getting caught out there with that Talia knockup, and that W. The root is going to land on top of them, and they're gone. And on the other side here, Xander ulting in onto Pekko. That wall also eliminating Pekko's escape option. He's forced to fight. He's not going to be able to find anything, and he gets shut down. Shut down going to Renekton.
Yeah, that was a very sloppy positioning setup coming out for Never MISCLICK. They had like 4 different people at 4 different sides of the pit, so it was very easy for the likes of the Tunnel Snakes to pick 1 or 2 of them, take them on in a 2v4, and run away with it. KT was able to pick up a tower on the bottom side of the map, but will be trading that Herald back. +2 kills, let it snow. It's going in here. Don't know if they realize that Nocturne just took Herald. No ultimate available, so won't be able to follow up. There's Talia ulting to mid tower. Interesting one, but yeah, it seems like with that, maybe losing control of this game, Never MISCLICK make yet another blunder.
Risen might get caught out here. Just let us know is running at them. That Trailblazer are giving them so much movement speed. I'm not going to do much. But, man. If Risen stays, there's a chance he can find something or they get caught. But no, they're backing away.
Yeah, but here comes...
No, no.
Yeah, here comes Xander or whatnot. Next neutral objective, being the Dragon in 30 seconds here, would be Dragon number. That can't possibly be right. So right now, it's showing us in the top left that this is a Mountain Drake coming up. I know for a fact that's incorrect because there's already been a Mountain Drake in the first 2. I think that's Hex Soul. That's going to be Hex Tech, not Hex Soul, Chemtech Dragon. So will be a Chemtech Soul. Derision is dead.
Yeah, no. If Peko is in the bush sitting there getting ready to
There's no commentary required. Just he's dead.
No.
That guy's dead. Let's move on.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do there. Oh, where is the Rift Herald going?
Oh, Xander, Xander messes it up. Okay,
no.
so in Season 14, you can pilot the Herald. He clicks the wrong way. Oh my god, it's not even going to get a charge.
Oh, no.
Oh, I mean, it's not a game-losing...
Xander.
That's not a game-losing mistake, but that's just... That doesn't feel good.
No, that's unfortunate.
He jumps in the car and instead of putting it in reverse, instead of putting it in drive, he puts it in reverse and just backs into a...
Xander is just going on to Peko. I don't know if they did that. What do you...
Spoiler? Does not.
Spoiler alert.
Interesting choice. Xander's lucky that Peko had already burned the ultimate onto Necro, or onto Derision, so if Olaf has his unstoppable Fury right there, that's a kill. Just delivered to him on a silver platter, and now...
Go on to Necro here. The ult's coming off as well. Doing so much damage. Necro trying to ult away. He is going to be able to ult, trying to get that health as much as they can. Ignite landing onto the Olaf as well. Olaf. Yeah, no, there's not.
This is exactly why when I saw the Renekton pick in the draft, I basically internally went, this is not going to end well. Olaf is such a bully pick into it with the way that Necro really hasn't been able to establish priority in a lane, and that's especially in a draft league. Sometimes you have to just concede control. Sometimes you realize that your opponent is more mechanically adept than you are, but you can play a different role. But what the Renekton pick does is it says, hey, I'm throwing down the gauntlet, and I think I can beat you in a 1v1. But it just really hasn't worked out that way.
No, I mean, against Peko, there's not...
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
if you... And on those other picks he had earlier on the night, the Nasus being the game 1 pick and the Cho'Gath being the game 2 pick, those are champions that even if they get behind can still be very useful. Renekton, less so. Also, looking at the update on the itemization from Caitlyn, it is going to be a legal build. It's lethality. Speaking of legal, Xander.
Oh my gosh, Xander's just getting caught out here. He's just getting run down for just let it snow in the CC. And the bomb coming in from Ziggs doing so much. Oh, Peko onto Necro though. Dude, the Cleaver just barely gonna miss. I think if that hit, Necro's gone.
It's close. But either way, Peko did what he needs to. He needs to establish priority in this bottom side. Keep in mind now, Baron coming up in 4 seconds. Not a lot of DPS on this blue side, but there's enough that they should be able to take this on spawn if there are ever multiple members bot side.
Wow, just let it snow. Almost caught out there. Necro's trying to go in here with his black shield. He can't beat CC, but it's not. It just disappears, and he just bounce on.
Yeah, he doesn't have items. He is not. He does not have the ability to go and do that at the moment. And while that happens, now no one's there bot lane to deal with Peko. That's another tower for Peko. And if anyone moves bot side to deal with him, that's potential Baron the other way. KT
out here. The jump from Uba's trying to find something, but Ewa's just gonna flash away from it.
Ubis almost bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Flash still intact. Not really threatening this Baron as much as I would have liked. Really just kind of going fishing here in the mid lane, seeing if the Tunnel Snakes just happen to misplay in front of them. Bane has to pop
the ult coming out here onto Derizen.
I've seen this one before.
Oh, no.
He's got the J's on. He's able to catch up in no time.
I found a little bit of hope when the knockup landed just as the ult ended, but yeah, there's not what you can do.
He's laced up and ready to go. He will run you down. Now here's Ewa on the bot side. I don't know if that's really going to be the difference maker. It might be.
I don't think so. Necro is ulting here, trying to do something for Pekko. Pekko trying to burst through that black shield, but I mean, Ewa is going to secure the kill, able to survive, or Necro is able to survive.
Yeah, I mean, the Black Shield helps Necro get away from the slows out of Olaf. Additionally, no ultimate from Olaf means that he actually does get hit by the slow, plus the CC of Morgana. 3 members now, 4 members on this Baron for Misclick, but they took so long to do it that they're now out positioned. Necro's able to get this push on the bot side. 4 members here, able to push out the 4 members of Misclicks. And able to keep this game Baronless for now. Dragon spawning another 30 seconds. Once again, that's not the Mount Drake. That is a Chemtech Dragon.
Oh.
Would be soul point for the Tunnel Snakes if they were able to secure this.
Oh, just on Snow getting caught out here. The root is landing. Maokai ult in exchange. Talia ult as well, cutting off Ubis' escape route. Jenner is in there, and he takes a tower shot. He flashes away from it, but he just gets caught, and Ubis able to jump in and land onto that Caitlyn. Ewa, though, getting run down from the Udyr. And there's not much they can do. Derizen is trying to run away. They are going to be able to run away, but the drag... Oh, they're going for Baron. We see pings on the map.
Let's see what their choice is, because it looks like they have a lot of indecision at the moment. I think Baron is the correct choice here, and I think it's the one they will eventually come to without too much contention. But it really comes down to what these comps are built to do. Red Tide comp for the Tunnel Snakes, they're a shock and awe comp. They're trying to jump on you out of the bushes, catch you with the Talia push into an E, catch you out with Nocturne just coming across map with that ultimate. But when they are not the ones to initiate, they have very few tools to control these fights. They don't have a front line because Renekton is just a very, very poor Crocodile right now. 3 TPs to contest this Dragon after the Baron is a very strong play from Never Misclick. But yeah, if Red Side do not engage, they do not have tools. They do not have a way to win these fights. Pekko already taken Derizen down.
What happened to Derizen? Oh, Derizen!
He gets taken out by the blue buff!
Oh my gosh, Pekko tried to run him down here. Not much I can do. Ult's gonna stop, and if they get hit by that net, that slow is gonna be petrifying. Blue buff getting a good kill there, though.
What an absolute play for the... I don't even know how he got that low, because that wasn't even a kill for Pekko. If Pekko had dealt that damage, he would have gotten the kill.
I'm so confused. People are getting pushed out here. They're going to be able to dodge through the zone. Yeah, there's not much they can do, though. Just let us know it's going in on Killua. I think they could end this game if they can find Jenner.
They need the wave, but they should be able to look here. Derizen does have the Talia wall, could try to wall off this mid wave. Maybe not away from the inhibitor, but maybe away from the Nexus. Just stall out for the rest of the team to come. But you're really seeing the detriment of how far Killua got put down in the early game. He had the lead, but he went so heavily into this lethality on hit that he's just not killing the tanks or the front line for Never Misclick. And the fact that they just kept fighting and he never could establish a gold lead, a CS lead, or really a kill lead in the bot side meant that the star player that Tunnel Snakes relies on to be that mid-game playmaking force just never came to be.
No, Renekton not able to find much. Like you said, a very poor Crocodile. If you compare it to the items that Pekko has, it's just a different game Pekko's playing.
Yeah, it seriously is. I mean, at this point, Pekko can win the side lanes and he can win team fights. There is no force on this world that can keep Pekko from your backline. I don't care how many Black Shields you toss down. I don't care how many Morgana ultimates. I don't care how many... Well, okay, the only thing that can stop it is a literal wall. If Talia does not wall Olaf away while he's ulting, there is nothing that can stop Olaf from just doing what he wants in the fight. And he's not even the biggest member. Pull up the gold stats right now. He may be the top gold, but he's not the only threat here. Yeah, 13K currently in the pockets of Pekko. 12.4K for jungler Abyss on the Kazik.
Ooh, that big ult there coming out from the Ziggs, doing a lot of damage, getting them low, Killua and the Morgana. And here comes Pekko on Xander.
I thought he was about to use the ultimate, not as an engage tool, but as an escape.
But as a escape,
like, that was the only way he survives there.
Yeah, no, that's...
I don't have any earthly idea why Abyss is currently in the bottom lane right now. This currently looks like a push for the end. No Baron's going to make that a little bit harder, but with the Ziggs, all things are possible. Abyss literally is just on a different continent. If this game was taking place in Los Angeles studios of Riot Games, dude would be in, like, Norway at this moment. He is so far away, it just does not matter.
No, the fight's going to come down here, though. Necro is trying to get in here, ult up with that Black Shield, trying to be somewhat of a tank. It's not much. Pekko might get caught out here. He's going to get the shutdown, going to that Caitlyn. Ubis coming in from the back. He was in a different continent. He took a quick plane ride over, and oh my, he's doing so much. Xander's not even going to be able to get on top of him, and DeRusen is going to fall down. I think that's game.
I think that's not just game, that's set, and that's match. It was a reverse sweep that brought them here, but never misclick. Sometimes you don't need macro. When you can just hit them with your bank account, they're going to get the Amex out, and they are going to slice and dice the Tunnel Snakes up. It's a Week 1 victory here for Never Misclick here in Week 1 of the Risen Esports Draft League. And what a sequence of events that have brought us to here and now with a 2-1 victory for Never Misclicks over the Tunnel Snakes. Wow.
Can I just say one thing?
Go for it.
Xander is tied on kills with the blue buff.
That's a true stat. Oh my god, that is a true stat. I want to say that not only is tied on blue buff, another thing is I feel like Let It Snow, the support for Never Misclick, is one of the leaders tonight in kills. Especially over games 2 and 3, but either way, it does not matter. Not a great series from Never Misclick.
No.
But they got the job done when they needed it to. Their game 2 and the game 3 draft was a lot better. They were able to find the advantages on the key members. Pekko running rampant, Abyss just turning into a monster, and KT doing his job. And then Bane and Let It Snow held on long enough, especially in that game 3, that denied the advantage for Killua. And if you are not an 80 carry on items, it's just so hard to carry these games.
I mean, also you're down an item. You're not using that Titanic Hydra, so just there's not much that the Caitlyn can do when they get that far behind. And like Maokai early there with that Trailblazer, just able to run you down.
Yeah, I mean it was just a wild sequence of events. Once again, both teams, I think there's a lot of upside. Tunnel Snakes were better at kind of absorbing the pressure out from Never Misclick, but really couldn't put anything over them in game 2 or game 3. It really felt like it was always Never Misclick who were forcing the issue. They were the ones taking fights. They were the ones who were walking up to stuff. Now, the problem was they weren't identifying where they had the advantage and where they had the disadvantage. And thankfully, in games 2 and games 3, they found the advantage more often than not. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, before we go off, despite it being a little bit of a weird sequence of events, Cough, Riot Games, Spectator, Client, Cough, our good friends over there, it does sound like we have a interview waiting for us.
Oh.
And I believe we will get to them right after this short break. So stick around. We'll get that interview queued up, and we'll send you guys off in quite a bit of style here on Risen Esports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Caster Desk here at the Risen Esports Draft League. Week 1 is drawing to a close. A victorious Never Misclick taking a 2-1 victory over the Tunnel Snakes. And to help us join in the celebrations and give us a little bit more insight, we are joined by not only one, but two members of the dominant side here tonight. We have Captain Jungler Ubis, as well as 80 carry Bane 898. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Hey, hot off a win. We're feeling good. Come from behind
Ubis?
win too, the reverse sweep.
Ah, yes, the true content special. Ubis, feeling good as well?
Yeah, it definitely feels good to come back from down a game at the start.
Yeah, certainly so. I mean, I got a few questions. I know my colleague Milkshake's got a few for you as well. Feel free, whichever you wanna answer it, go for it. But we mentioned game 1, not exactly your guys' finest piece of work. Obviously, we were scaling throughout the night. Game 1 loss, game 2, game 3 victory. What changed for you guys? You know, what was the conversation like at the end of game number 1? What felt different going into game 2? Was it the mentality? Was it the draft? What changed for you guys?
So after game 1, we basically were just like, hey, that was unlucky. Let's just win now. And we just focused on playing towards top side, bringing our support up because their support had a lot of roams in the first game where we were just like, oh, let's flip it anyway, and didn't really work out in our favor. So tried to take more even fights in the second game instead of just trying to hit them with the never misclick.
Yeah, certainly so. And I mean, it's think that we hit on a lot here. I think we noticed, especially in game 1, there were so many times where it felt like you guys were just kind of walking in and praying that your keyboards were going to be better than their keyboards. Game 2, it definitely felt a little bit more considered. So definitely felt that on our end. A lot of that did leave you, Bane, kind of out alone on that bottom side. What was it like being an 80 carry for the illustrious team Never Misclick in game 2 and 3 in that series? Walk us through what's that feeling like?
Well, I mean, going into the series, we definitely knew that their bot side was going to be their strong point. And I was going to have to, kind of try and weather the storm and show up for those team fights. Game 1, I think, we were just getting poked like crazy. Game 2, I think I walked out of lane like 0-4, but I ended the game 8-5. So, it really was like, come on, Pekko is just walking all over this top side. Ubis is constantly invading. I just have to show up for my team because they're winning so hard without me.
Yeah, for some reason, walking feels too calm of a term for what happened to topside, but we definitely catch your guys' drift. Last question for me. You guys mentioned, and we had saw in your preseason matchup, you guys were able to take the 2-0 win over EGEZ. This is the first time in this series you guys have been pushed to the full 3 games. So, especially you, Ubis, as the captain, what was it like now that with the introduction of the Fearless draft? How did that maybe change something, knowing that you guys had 10 champions off your list? Did it feel the same as any of your other Risen games, or was there a special feeling about we have to dig deep? What was the approach to Game 3 like, knowing that that this Fearless draft was a factor?
So by game 3, there's a lot already on the table, so it made us actually feel pretty good. I have a lot of champions that I play, so does Tenno, Pekko as well, and just it kind of gave us freedom to lock what we wanted because they couldn't pick the annoying champs again, like Maokai, Swain, Ezreal, stuff that just does damage that you can't really interact with, and that kind of made it, I guess, more in our favor, so we could battle them with keyboards and mice versus just champion diff. It definitely makes it harder on people who don't play as many champions, though. You can definitely feel by game 3 where it's like, what are we trying to play here? Let's flip the coin.
I'd say we think that's fun. I'm just waiting for a best of 5 final. That's where I feel like the real fun's gonna come in. But that's it for me. Milkshakes, if you got a few questions to
Yeah,
ask
I
the
got a
triumphants here.
few questions. Mainly for Ubis. How did it feel? Being in that late game, scaling to the point with those assassin junglers, where you can just kind of pick anyone on the map and just take them out.
So which ability did you bind to your delete key? I think is what we're asking.
Yeah.
Here.
So in game 2, I got lucky to play a Rengar game, and I think I was like 1-1-15 or something at one point. My team just kept taking all the kills. think my support was like legendary at one point.
Yeah.
So my delete
Ended
button
with
wasn't
6
really
kills.
active in game 2. I was more a root bot, going for like double roots on Lilia in the river. Game 3 felt really good. I was like, hey team, we're just gonna keep fighting. I'm not going W. We're not going utility. We're just gonna go to win the fight. I'm gonna get resets, and being able to just wipe the people off the map was awesome. The AD, because of all the fights on the new assassin item, I was permanently walking around with it having like 90 to 100 AD, which for one item feels pretty good.
And he
Yeah.
called it right from the start too. He's like in champs, like he's like, actually, I should go Dark Harvest. We're fighting like crazy this series, and he just got so much value out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
You certainly gave our play-by-play here a run for his money as far as trying to recover from those fights went.
mm, speaking on that Rakan, how did it feel, Bane, to be playing with that early game Rakan where he was just 4-1 so early?
I mean, it was one of those where like, hey, these fights, if they're gonna just dive on this hard for me, like it's actually cool if he gets a couple kills early. It doesn't hurt me that much. Having a support that can actually take a few more hits. He was asking us like halfway through the game, he's like, should I get like Jack Show here? Where it's like you never get to these conversations in any other season of like
What is
4
all this
item
money?
support, 5 item support. Absolutely. So I think it is a lot of fun. I think actually having these supports like get to play the game a little bit more.
Mhm. I mean, final question. You had that powerhouse of Pekka in the top lane, and you yourself, the assassin jungler, with your survivability, and that Gragas with KT just doing so much, and your bot lane able to
But no,
survive
yeah.
and be there for fights. Who would you say on your team is the MVP for the series?
Definitely Pekka. He has Smurf in game 1. We kind of let him down. Again, just taking fights where it was 3v5. I think we took a 3v5 at Dragons, just trying to see what we could do, and went a little too far. So he, saved mental. I think he was like 7-1 at one point, and nothing feels worse in a game when you're that strong and you just feel like it's slipping away. So he saved mental, did the same thing game 2 and 3. So I would definitely have to give him MVP.
I definitely
Yeah.
said it right after game 1. I'm like, we're not losing this. We can't let Pekka lose this series. No shot.
What a great team effort. And yeah, no arguments here, at least for me. Milkshake, I'd be shocked if you had a
Nope.
different MVP. Yeah, no, I think we're all in agreement. Thank you very much. Once again, congratulations on the first win of the regular season. Of course, had to win in the preseason. Before we let you guys go, any shout outs you guys want to give to anyone watching back at home?
Shout out to all the people who put us 6th or 7th in their predictions for the end of the season. We'll see you at the top.
Well,
I
we'll
agree.
see you,
That's good. I'm the 7th place captain, so it's we're good to go.
we'll see you in playoffs. Cole is the apparent answer here.
Exactly.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for your time and congratulations on the win. Looking forward to see you guys in action next week. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our programming here tonight on the Risen Esports Draft League. I've been Big Stevie. That's been Milkshakes. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same place. Maybe a little bit earlier next time. Depends on if there's a spectator client. But either way, tune in next week. You'll see our the other half of the absolutely fantastic Risen Esports Draft League commentary, bringing you week 2 action. I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure Milkshake is as well, and I hope
Oh
all you guys
yeah.
are back at home. Also, do keep up with what's happening in the Risen Esports Discord as the rest of our leagues get on the line. You can check out all that information and more on the Risen Esports website or on the Risen Esports Discord. But alas, we have reached the end of our fable here tonight. I've been Big Stevie, that's been Milkshakes, and on behalf of everyone here at Risen Esports and our beautiful production crew, we wish you a fantastic night, and we'll see you next time here on Risen Esports.